Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to SoulSpace podcast number 7.
Number 7.
Today you can go talk about this.
Yeah,
beginning.
absolutely. So today our topic is mental wellness. We've done a lot of techniques and taken you through some demonstrations of things that have helped us along our mental wellness journeys in the last few podcasts. But today we wanted to talk about some products also that have helped us along the way, just to give you guys more and more things to kind of help you on your journeys. And Tracy, since you were the one that introduced me to the products that you and I have both found most helpful so far along our journeys, I thought maybe we talk a little bit about your story. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about your story and what kind of led you to the products we're going to talk about today, and then we can kind of talk about what those products are later. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
What brought me to them? One word: menopause. I was struggling for, since the day I turned 50. I started having hot flashes. They progressively got worse and worse, and then my digestive started going downhill. Digestive system was going downhill. I couldn't, I slept, but not really restful. I had brain fog so bad. It was awful. And I tried different things that helped a little bit always. I've always taken good nutritional products. They would help, certain things specifically for menopause would help. I had used essential oils and made a cooling spray that helped, but everything would help for a little bit, and then I'd have to find something else again. And I was so tired of looking for something new because everything I was doing wasn't working anymore. And it was 4 years ago that I found these products that totally changed my life. Not only the menopause symptoms, but my life in general. I mean, I can't even imagine my life without them now. So first of all, I started taking what's called the fundamentals pack. Well, and I have a mentor that was with a different company at the time, and he had left that company, and I saw a testimonial from his wife, and she was telling my story. I was tired, I was run down, I couldn't focus. I wanted to punch everybody in the face, literally. And maybe people didn't see it on the outside, but I felt so not like me on the inside that I couldn't do it anymore. And she was saying the exact same things. And so I called my mentor and I said, "What are you guys doing? I have to know. I saw your wife's testimonial or a little video on Facebook, and I said, I got to know about this. I can't live like this anymore. And, I've tried everything." And so he told me what it was, and I got started on the products. And within 2 weeks, actually, I noticed changes the first week, and some people don't right away, but by the second week, I had no more hot flashes, and I had them for almost 10 years.
Wow.
Well, 8 years, because I'm 61 now, and I hardly ever have one anymore. If I do, it's very slight. It's nothing. I was sweating constantly.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was unbelievable. And then my brain fog lifted. The biggest bonus that I didn't realize was as bad as it was is I have no anxiety anymore. I didn't even know how bad I had it. I just thought I was shy.
Right.
And shyness can cause those kind of symptoms, the same as anxiety. And I had anxiety really, really bad, and I didn't realize that's what it was until it wasn't there anymore. And it was like, oh my God, I've lived my whole life. I'm almost 60 years old at the time. And I I could have been a lot better,
Enjoyed a lot more things, I'm
Yeah.
sure,
And
yeah.
this company was only around for 2 years before I joined. So a year and a half or something like that. So I hadn't missed out on a whole lot.
Yeah.
But if, I had been searching for stuff my whole life to help me feel good. And I didn't realize that most of my problem was anxiety before, besides the menopause stuff. But now that I don't have that, and the first time I noticed that it was gone, when I used to drive on the interstate or any, on the highway, and I had to pass a car, I would always hold my breath. And even if it rained, I was always nervous, and I always gripped the steering wheel. And I hated driving in the winter. I didn't like to drive at night. And I remember the first time I drove to my son's, it's 2 hours away. I didn't hold my breath once. And I drove on a 2-lane highway, not a 4-lane.
Yeah.
So you have oncoming traffic all the time, and it's a busy highway. And I didn't get stressed out that whole drive. And I'm like, oh my God,
Wow.
this,
That's great.
this is different. I can do anything now. That's how I felt, that I don't have that stress and anxiety in my body anymore. And it was such a change that, I could have stood on the rooftops and yelled about it. And, I'm not a salesy person, and I've never been in sales really. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I don't consider myself a salesperson. So I thought, I really do want to tell everybody about this, because it's changed my life so much. I can't believe it.
Right.
But I also don't want to shove it down people's throat and be, that's all I ever talk about, or whatever the things you think of when you see a crazy salesperson. But
you wanted to
but I
share it with
wanted to
people because
share
you
it,
want
yeah.
people to have the same benefits that you saw.
Right.
So I
right.
understand that.
Yeah. And it helps so many different things, not only menopause, but that was the thing I was looking for at the time. Little did I know that it would change my whole life. So yeah, that's me.
So I'm kind of interested, what things, so you talked about a few of the things that have really changed for you,
mhm.
but what things in your life have become easier now that like your anxiety is gone and your hormones are like more balanced, you're able to do things. So what things maybe are easier for you now than they were before?
Basically everything.
Okay, everything.
Pretty much, I can get on a podcast, I can do videos. I'm not scared to talk to people anymore. I can drive without being nervous. I my stomach doesn't bother me. I have the clarity that I hadn't had for a while. But I think the biggest thing is the relief that I got from the anxiety. Yeah. That, especially when you don't know you have it, don't know what that is. I mean, you see things about it. I hadn't, never gone to the doctor for it, because I thought it was because I was shy. I had this label my whole life. Oh, you're shy, you can't do that. Oh, you're shy, you can't get up in front of a crowd. I don't want to do that. I hid behind the scenes always. And I liked it there because it was comfortable. And now I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. But yeah, that's the biggest change I had, was just, it allowed me to be me, the me that I knew I was inside, but didn't know how to be that anymore, or ever. I mean, I remember when I was a kid being too shy to do things, and Yeah, it has literally changed my whole life.
It's allowed you to live the life that you want, it sounds like, really.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And that's huge. I mean, how many people can say that from, just finding like a nutritional product
Mhm.
to completely change your life? I mean,
Right,
for me, I mean, what?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I heard your story and you kind of shared with me about it,
Right, yeah.
because you and I do have some similar things where, like we said before, we're kind of the same person.
Yeah,
Um,
we do have
we have a
a lot of the same
lot in common.
characteristics, yeah.
But to hear about it and
Mhm.
to see it happen in a person
Yeah,
are two completely different things. So for me, like
right,
when you were kind of telling me your story, I had seen it.
yeah.
And for me, that made all the difference. Is like I saw the Tracy before and
Mhm.
I saw the Tracy after.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it is like night and day,
right, yeah.
because you're the same person that you were with
Mhm.
me, with everybody, with everything. And you were just doing this and doing that. And you're like, oh, I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah,
And you were fine with you. There was no, you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go do this. I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna start my little channel on Facebook. I'm gonna just start doing videos. And I'm like, okay. For me, I'm like, that sounds terrifying, but you go.
right, right. Yeah, yeah, and I never in a million years would have thought that I would do stuff like that either.
Right.
Um, it's so crazy. But what are the biggest changes that you've noticed since I?
So I'll start with this. Okay.
Mhm.
So you told me about these products when you started them.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, that's great. Cool, whatever.
Another new product.
I'm like, oh, I'm so glad.
Everybody
Yeah,
has,
everybody has
yeah,
products. That's
right,
great.
yeah, yeah.
It took me 3 years to decide to try them.
Mhm.
3. She talked about this for 3 years before I tried it. So I'll tell you a little bit about why I decided to try these.
Mhm.
So a year ago, just exactly this time of year, actually.
Is it?
So August
Awesome.
last year,
Oh, cool.
I had such high anxiety that I didn't know if I could continue my job.
Mm. Yeah.
I was just like I was so anxious all the time, just like this underlying anxiety and fear and like this just go feeling all the
Mhm.
time that I couldn't even manage anymore. Because like I take high quality supplements and
Mhm.
my nutrition is super important and I take care of myself. But it had gotten to a point where it just progressively was getting worse. It was getting worse and it was getting
Mhm.
worse. And I said, Tracy, something is going on. I said, something has changed. Something is going on. I can't handle it anymore. I can't live like this.
Yeah, and that's how I felt too.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I continue along this vein, I'm not going to be able to function anymore. I'm not going to be able
Mhm.
to do my job. And I'm like, I have to.
Right.
Like, I can't quit my job because of anxiety. This is ridiculous.
I know.
And I've always been shy also
Yeah.
my whole life. And I've had underlying anxiety. And as I got older, I knew what it was because, as a counselor, you learn,
Right.
so I've done a lot of internal work and things like that. And I have coping skills and I know how to deal with things. But it was getting to a point where I couldn't even deal with it.
Mhm.
And I said, Tracy, something's changed. I don't know what to do about it. I feel like something's wrong. And I feel like it's within my body because my mind is fine. My
Right.
whole body is feeling anxious. It's like my autonomic processes were just out of whack. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I said, will you tell me more about these products that you're taking? Because
Mhm.
she had told me how it helped your anxiety so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just can't.
Yeah.
I got to try it. Tell me what to do.
Yeah. I
So
want it all.
just tell me
Yeah.
what's going to help me so I can move forward. And I did.
Yeah.
So you and I talked about it. And that day I bought the fundamentals pack that you also started with.
Mhm.
And I kid you not, the first week, and I know that this is not super, it happens to a lot of people, but it's not like typical, whatever. I don't
Right.
care.
Right.
This is my story.
Yeah.
Within a week, my anxiety went from 10 to 7.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the whole baseline, everything, because everything was like at a 10, like constant.
Yeah.
And then now I was at a 7, but I was like going up and down to 7. So I was like, okay, that's better. I
Yeah.
can deal with that.
Yeah.
Second week, I was at 4.
I
And
got goosebumps.
yeah, it was unbelievable to me, the changes. And for me, not just that feeling of anxiety started to
Right.
alleviate, but also I noticed one of the big things was digestion, because I didn't really think about how bad my digestion was. I just
Mhm.
knew like every time I ate, my stomach hurt.
Right.
And it was just normal for me.
Yeah.
And when I really noticed the change, I called Tracy. I called you when this happened because I was so excited about it. You remember this, I know. So the thing for me that really told me there's a huge change happening in my body
Mhm.
is I have never been able to eat eggs and bacon together, ever.
Me
I
too.
get sick, like sick, and like I can't eat them together. In my family, we'd always have eggs and bacon and toast for breakfast on Sundays,
Mhm.
right? And so there was one day I was at my parents' house and I was visiting them, and it was Sunday, and we had eggs and bacon with toast, and my stomach didn't hurt. Not even a little bit. Didn't hurt at all. No problems. Other people in my family are in the bathroom right after we eat. Nothing hurt at all. I was like, oh my God. My stomach doesn't hurt. I ate eggs and bacon and my stomach doesn't hurt. It was a revelation. I'm not even kidding. I was so excited. I called her and said, Tracy, you're gonna think I'm nuts, but I have to tell you what just happened. And and you laughed because I ate eggs and bacon, my stomach didn't hurt. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
To me, that had never happened in my entire life.
Right.
Entire life. No matter what supplements I took, probiotics, didn't matter. Nothing made that difference. And this made that difference. So not only does my digestion feel awesome and my stomach never hurts, I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
But my anxiety, I don't have that anxiety. I never thought I would be on a video podcast. Are you nuts?
Right.
Never, never, ever, ever,
Right.
ever. Never would I think that I would do public speaking. I do public speaking.
Yeah.
Being able to meet with people one-on-one, small groups, large groups, never thought that would be possible. Now it's like, I maybe have like this little glimmer of like, I'm a little anxious, and then it goes away and I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, a year on these products has literally changed my life too.
Right.
And I don't say that I mean, we're not here to sell, but what we're here to do is we're here to tell people about this is amazing. It has changed our lives completely forever.
Yeah.
And I want other people to know about it because they deserve to know, and you deserve to have the life that you want to live. You deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve to have lower anxiety. You deserve to have a better feeling. You deserve to be happy in your life. And that's what we're here for. Our whole podcast is about that.
Yeah.
And so for these products that changed our life so much, we just wanted to share them with you. So maybe we can talk a little bit about maybe a little bit about the company itself. I know we have a couple things that we want to share with you guys too about one of the founders of the company and stuff that he has to say about mental wellness, because this company is all about mental wellness.
Yeah.
It's all about being fit in all ways.
Right. One of the things that I didn't realize was how many things go out of whack in your body when your digestion isn't right. You know, this company is called the Mental Wellness Company, and all of our products are about mental wellness and gut health. It corrects the things in your gut biome or microbiome, that connect your brain to your stomach, your gut to your stomach and to your heart. And when that is running smoothly, everything else in your life changes.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing how many things that can govern in your life just by fixing your gut.
Right. It's amazing, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, the more research that comes out, the more they find out that so much goes on in the gut. Our immune system is really about the gut.
Yeah.
And our serotonin levels are really about the gut. It affects everything. And they're noticing that people with gut problems have higher anxiety.
Yeah.
People with gut problems have more depression. People with gut problems have lower immune systems.
Yeah.
And so by fixing that, obviously, it has positive effects on our overall system because our whole body is connected.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to read this little piece out of this is a book by Dr. Sean Talbot, Mental Fitness, and he is the doctor that is the head of formulation for all of our products. He has a staff with him, and lots of awesome people that help him out, but he's the main, we call him our unicorn, because he has come up with so many amazing products that have helped changed lives like you would not believe.
Right.
And
Including ours.
yeah, including ours. And they are phased benefits in these products. The longer you take them, the better you feel. And I'm almost at 4 years on the products, and I'm still feeling better all the time. And I'm like, what? I never realized I could feel better, and I do. So it some people don't get results right away, but if you stick with it, it took me 50 years to get where I was, and it's only taken 4 to get way past that. So you have to think about it that way. There is no magic pill that does everything and makes you feel good like that.
Well,
So
I mean, yes.
this is as close as you can get.
I was like, well, you could say that. However,
Lord.
for me, it made all the difference real fast.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they say give it 3 months and you start to see the
Right.
changes.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit of a diary of just like, this is how I feel right now. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Is I kind of diaried out, this is how I felt when I started as my baseline. Then I did a week, 2 weeks, and a month. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. There's really, I always, before I'm a researcher, and I always read tons of testimonials.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
love
like,
science.
Yeah, I do love science. And I'm like, okay, this sounds fishy. This can't happen this fast and to this many people like this. It sounds too good to be true.
Right.
But I'm a skeptic, but I love to prove myself wrong in that skepticism. So I did that, and I'm so happy that I did. I would still be here in this video drenched in sweat if I wouldn't have done this.
I wouldn't be in this video,
right,
if I hadn't done this.
right.
If I'm completely honest, I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Right. Yeah. That's true. That's very true, because I tried to get her to do videos many times and she wouldn't.
I said no.
So anyway, I'm going to just read a couple little blips in this book. And this first one is from Dr. Sean, and it's right in his preface for the book. So I hope you agree with me that there is no physical health without mental health. They are two sides of the same coin, and they are vital for each other and for our ability to reach our peak potential in this one life we have to live. And that's just so true. And mental wellness, I like to say mental wellness, because we're getting back to wellness instead of just mental health. Or we want to have vitality in life. We want to survive, or we want to be what's the word? Thriving, yeah, instead of just surviving. Right. Yeah. And that is Dr. Sean's mission in life, is to help people feel good and to be happy. And we've made it our mission too. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Another paragraph.
Very aligned with
right.
what we have as our life mission as well.
Yeah. And it's been our mission. I mean, when we joined coaching and started coaching people, that was the main theme, is to help people be happier in their life. And now we have an extra tool to do that. And it really has changed major lives.
Game changer.
Yeah. So this next part is just the first paragraph of the book. What is mental wellness? It might surprise you to realize that the biggest health problems today are not physical ailments such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's disease, but rather are mental conditions such as depression, anxiety, chronic fatigue, sleep deprivation, and everyday stress. In many ways, including biochemically, physiologically, and behaviorally. Those are.
You got it.
Mental wellness is the overarching umbrella that determines our overall physical health. And mental fitness can be thought of as the optimized state of mental wellness. So it's just amazing how much your mental health can change just by doing a few little things, adding to your diet, or, you know, working on a few things in your life, that it will change everything about your life. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So should we tell people a little bit about what company we're talking about, and then
Right.
we can kind of share our favorite products, starting with like so we'll just talk about probably the fundamentals pack that you and I both started on.
Yep. Yep.
Tell a little bit about that. So the company that we are a part of, and I joined because of my own results. I was like, I want to show up this mountaintops too. I want to tell everybody. I was like, I don't care if you buy from somebody in Canada. Like, I want you to try this because it can help change your life like it did mine. Because mine, I just keep feeling better and better too. It's amazing. Like, I have energy to do things.
Yeah.
You know, I found out last year, this was probably 5 or 6 months before I talked to you about these products, Amari products that we're going to talk about. I found out I had a vitamin D deficiency, like a severe one. I was falling asleep. I was falling asleep. Like I'd come home from work and I'd pass out on the couch, and my husband would wake me up and go, "You gotta do something." So I had started a vitamin D supplement, and that was helping, but it wasn't, I didn't have energy to do anything. Like I couldn't do my garden, and I wasn't able to, I mean, it's just, I felt like I couldn't do anything. Like if I could even get to work, it was like a miracle. And I'm like, that's not good too. And being on these products, I've had the energy to do all the things.
Right.
Like I have my garden this year. I'm able to coach and see clients and go to work all day and come home and cook. And I'm like, I never thought that would be possible after how I felt last year.
Right.
And it's been a year. And these results started happening pretty much immediately for me, which was a godsend, to be honest. I was able to continue my job.
And I remember how tired you were all the time. It was like, I don't feel like doing anything, you know, I don't think I'll do this today. Or it was just hard to see you go downhill like that.
I wasn't myself.
Right. Yeah.
At all. Not myself at all. I was so mad. I was upset. I was mad at myself because I couldn't change it.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't figure out like what is wrong with me. I couldn't figure out how to change it. And I tried asking yourself what's wrong with me. I mean, that hurts just to even say that to yourself.
Right.
But you're like, I know there's something, because it's like, I mentally am well. I'm doing so well. Why is my body not following that?
Yeah.
And this for me was the answer.
Yeah. And you know, it's when you fix the gut health problems, you're taking in all the vitamins that you know, your body
it wasn't
using
absorbing
your food better.
Right. I wasn't absorbing the vitamins.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I mean,
Right.
I didn't know how bad it was until I realized how bad it was.
And
so I started feeling better too. I was like, wow, it was really bad.
Yeah. And a lot of times you don't realize, like you said, that how bad you feel until you feel good.
Right. You just live with it and you're like, oh, this is just how I am. And then you feel better and you're like, that wasn't normal.
No,
that wasn't normal. No. It is not my normal. That's not how I want to feel. That's not me. Yeah. It's been amazing. This last year has completely changed my life, and I'm so happy. And now I have lots of delicious tomatoes that are growing in my garden right now. I'm so excited to go home and pick some more.
Awesome. That's good. That's awesome.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the products.
Okay, so this is what we started on, and it's called the Fundamentals Pack. Comes in a box like this. And it's your basics to get your gut health on track again. So the first one is Mentobiotics, and it helps connect that gut brain connection again, or axis. It is probiotics, prebiotics, and phytobiotics. So it really does work on all levels of that gut health. And something I didn't know until I joined Amari, and I'm kind of a vitamin geek anyway. I have been with a few different nutritional companies, and I really studied nutrition, not in college or anything like that, but studied a lot about it. And I had heard about probiotics and prebiotics a little bit, probiotics more, but
Yeah.
The other biotics, which all of our products are biotic based, I didn't know that there was a difference and that there were different strains. And one thing I learned was that Mentabiotics has strain specific biotics in it that really help your mental wellness. And there's a number on the biotics when you see like lactobacillus, or I don't know if I said that right, but you are better at this part than I am. But you know, there's always a strain number that you should look for, and that's what Amari pays attention to, because all of them are for our mental wellness.
Right.
So,
yeah, they're very specific to the strains of probiotics, prebiotics, phytobiotics, and things that specifically help with your gut-brain axis, that communication between your gut and your brain, and also to help you with improving your digestion in all levels. Because one thing that is really an issue with, especially like probiotics, is that a lot of the cheaper brands, it doesn't go past your stomach. And most of your digestion happens in your intestines. And so if the probiotic or the prebiotic and the things don't survive your stomach, you're not getting really the benefits that you could be from that probiotic, that prebiotic, that phytobiotic. And so one thing that's really great about the Amari products is that they survive the stomach and they go down to the intestines. And I think that's one of the reasons that it is so effective, is it's able to survive the stomach. And that's a huge thing when it comes to especially probiotics that a lot of people don't realize.
Right.
But yeah, I love these products because they work synergistically together, and the Amari products work synergistically all together. So like each product, there's quite a few different products, and we love quite a few of them, all of them. But but these ones, this is what we really started with. And so this is kind of one of the things that I always suggest people start with, because you want to heal that gut. You want to heal your gut biome, because taking antibiotics and different medications and having a poor diet have all killed off those bacterium that you really need to have in your stomach, right? They've closed the receptors, they've killed off those good bacteria. So you need to get that balance back. And that's really what these products help do, is to get that good balance back into your gut, so that you can have like I said, a positive immune system, because we know a lot of that's in the gut. It really helps your brain and your serotonin levels, because there's serotonin receptors in your stomach, a large amount of them, and they're finding that's one of the reasons that causes a lot of depression and imbalances in the body. Right. So that's one of the reasons I absolutely love this product. And it has so many things that I won't even try to tell you all the things that are in it. One thing that I would suggest is that you go online. What we'll do is we'll put a link to the Amari website in the comments below, so you guys can take a look at it. If you're interested in it, shoot us a comment or write us a message, and one of us will get back to you, because we really want you to learn all the things. There's videos that tell you about this product and all of the scientifically backed information on it. All of the things that I love about this company is very scientifically based. What I love about it is all of the ingredients that go in the products are researched. All of them are double-blind studied. I just love it. For me, it made a really big difference, and okay, I'm going to try it. So
one of the things that, let's see, Amari got a Nutra Award, which is like an Emmy for nutritional products, but it recognizes companies that are investing in rigorous and measurable scientific studies to prove the efficiency of their property ingredients or technologies. So we did get that award in 2018 for this fundamentals pack, and it just has changed so many lives. And when I started, the fundamentals was there, and maybe heart. There were only a few products. Now I think we're up to 27 or something like that. But they are on the cutting edge of so many different products, and first of its kind on a lot of them. And we'll share more products as the time goes on. We don't want to make our podcast all about this.
No.
But this is really the basis of our healing, and we have to share.
Yeah, we need to take care of our physical bodies in addition to our mental and spiritual bodies. It's just, it's part of the equation, and we're all about wholeness, the whole body, the whole person. And so this is a big part of that.
Right.
Whole person strategy.
Yeah. So you don't want to take sync, and I'll take focus, because I have a story about focus that just happened today.
Well, awesome. So another of the products that's in the fundamentals pack is called MentaSync. This is a wonderful one. It really focuses on that communication between the gut and the brain. One thing that I notice a lot is it really helps me literally with focus during the day. It helps me to feel better. It helps with brain fog. I love it because you really have to think about your brain is your control center. Right? And so you really want to think about, you want to be alert, you want to be ready for your day, you want to be able to focus, you want to be able to, okay, I'm going to get this done. And you're very, when you're being task oriented, especially my job, it's so fast paced, and there's always a challenge, and there's this distraction and that distraction, this happening, there's people, so you have to be able to really hone in and focus. And so this really has helped me with that. It also helps you with like mental clarity. You had talked about your brain fog, focus, totally disappeared. But it's like, you think about how all of these products work together, they work synergistically. Right. And that's the thing, is like, this really focuses on the communication and syncing up the gut brain axis. And then you'll talk more about how that can really help you. But for me, a big part of this one also is memory. Memory. The things that you can start to recall that you couldn't figure out before, that you had lost. Sync is really good for, or MentaSync, I always just shorten it, but is really good for your immune system too. I know when things were whacked out in this world and there was a lot of sickness all around us, sync was something that got my whole family through without getting too sick. We really stayed well all the way through the pandemic and through everything that was going on. So that's one thing that really has helped with that. And it, like you said, it helps reconnect those transmitters and syncs up everything so it's working properly again. You want to know one thing with me? So full disclosure, I had a head injury a few years ago, and my short-term memory suffered hugely. I have had problems with that since. It was really, really bad right afterwards, and probably the first couple of years. I was like, I just had to tell people straight up, like, I'm not going to remember what you told me. You have to either remind me or I have to write it down. And I've improved it through meditation, through different practices and things like that, because I really wanted to get back, because I used to have an awesome short-term memory. I could tell you everything that we talked about in an entire hour-long conversation. I could recap it for you, right? And then when I couldn't do that anymore, that was really, really hard for me. I struggled with that a lot. And so I had improved it a lot. It was going much better, but I've noticed in this past year, I can again recap entire conversations with people. I can remember names. I can remember faces. I can say, oh, I remember talking with you about that yesterday. And for me, that's amazing, because I haven't been able to do that since 2014. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. So good. It's so good. It's so good. I didn't even think about that till right now. I was like, you know what? That's what did it. It really kicked it into high gear. It helped a lot. Because like I said, I got into a decent place. But now I'm in a really good place. The focus
I have a funny story about this. I've been out of focus. These are empty bottles. I've been out of focus for about 4 or 5 days. And I noticed that, okay, I'm forgetting the word. I remember last week, maybe it's been a week that
You
I've
don't
been.
even
Yeah, I don't even know.
remember.
It probably has been more, because I remember last week there were a couple words I couldn't think of, and I was getting good at having that memory back again. And so this weekend, being without it for quite a few days, I went and got groceries, and of course sometimes you forget where you put stuff or whatever. Well, I knew I had gotten a couple steaks. I could not find them for the life of me. I looked in the fridge, in the garage, in the freezer, in my car, in the grocery bag. Well, I did find them in the fridge, and I thought that I put them in there, but anyway, it's just, my husband even noticed, hey, what is with you? What's with you today? You can't remember anything. And I'm like, I'm out of focus. I know that's it. So, it really does help to reconnect those receptors that are helping you in your everyday life. And yeah, I don't want to go without that again. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Right.
And what's interesting is you don't know how good it could be until it gets better.
Yeah.
You don't
Very
realize
true.
how much of an issue you have until it gets better too.
Yeah. And
So-
there's so many people that feel bad like we did and
Right.
think, oh, that's normal.
That's just how it is.
When you get older, you don't feel so good. For me, you're at that menopausal stage. You're not going to feel like you did when you were 40 or 30.
And everybody will tell you things like that.
Right.
And
it's
you
not
start to
true.
believe it, but it's not true. It's not true.
It's not true.
It can be better.
Yeah.
It can be way better.
Right. And, talking to friends and going back to my hometown, or, talking to people that are my age, and they're, oh, I'm on so many meds, and oh, I feel so terrible. And I'm like, oh, I forgot that probably should feel that way, but I don't.
Yeah.
So, hey, do you want to try something that'll make you feel better? It's crazy. And my husband and I talk about that a lot. We don't feel our age at all. And I have grandkids that I want to keep up with for 30, 40 more years. So
Absolutely.
I don't want to, I want to stay healthy and be able to move around and think and play and, be active, because grandkids are a blast. So, just so happy that I found these products, and we'll put our information in the chat or in the comments so that you can find us. And always, with any products, know that they work different for everybody. Also talk to someone you trust about them. If it's not us, then find someone that you trust that can help you with them and tell you their story. Your story means a lot. And if I didn't experience it for myself, I would have thought, well, maybe you're exaggerating a little bit, or maybe,
right.
Maybe they helped you for a while, but not on the long term. And that was part of my story. I had found so many things that helped me in short term, but they didn't stick with it. And now I'm going on 4 years, and I keep feeling better and better. And I know a lot of people now that are in our community that have been on products longer than me, and they're still up leveling. It's about bigger and having that happy life. We have this summer, we've had a happy challenge kind of, and people are telling their stories from when they started with the products till now, and it truly has changed so many lives. So yeah, anything else you have that you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, I think I would say if you have any questions about it, there, like I said, there's lots of informational videos. And you can read about the science that's behind all the products and things like that. I always suggest that because you want to know what you're getting into. You want to know what's in the
Right.
product. You want to know, is it going to work? Is it good for me?
Mhm.
And one thing I really love about all these products is I have difficulties, like I can't have like fake sugar and things like that because I get really sick. So one thing I love about these products is all of them are non-GMO.
Yeah.
There's no fake sugar, there's no fake anything. They're all healthy
Clean.
for you, clean products,
And
which to me is huge because that's always been something that's been
right.
important to me.
Yeah. And they're all spices and herbs, and Dr. Sean uses a lot of the Ayurvedic medicines that have been used for thousands of years. And he has studied this his whole adult life. So they and they're third party tested. So you always, he tests, make sure that they're tested from the beginning ingredients to the end when they mix everything together, and they're just set by high standards. Our 5 what is it called, golden rule, or the 5 things that our company stands for are love, integrity, innovation, service, and humility. And we're all about love. Amari means to love in Latin. And we have created an amazing community of people that help each other. And no matter where you're at in the company, we help each other out and we do things together. And it's just an amazing, I've never felt more at home with a company than I do with Amari. And it's just really, really cool. So
yeah, a whole bunch of people that actually care.
Yeah.
And you don't always get that. And
Right.
I think for me, just the integrity piece is so huge with this company that for me, that was something I was like, okay,
Right.
okay, I'll give it a shot. You know, I'm not big on like company things, but I was like, you know what? There's something about this that's and it for me, the science really got me when I started reading about the science and watching the videos and looking up different things that was in the products. I was like, okay, there's really something here. And for me, that really drew me in too, besides like I feel awesome.
Right. Besides I feel awesome.
I feel awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of like for me, the way that I think about it in my head, and I don't know if I could say this, I'm gonna say it anyway. It's kind of, for me, it's like my Amazon for my vitamins.
Right.
Like I set up like this is what I want every month, and then it just arrives to my door.
Yeah.
Every month on that day. I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. Set it and forget it.
Right.
I get all my vitamins, happy as a clam. I'm feeling great. And I don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Very good. Yes, it is. It really is. And for the things that this little box takes care of, you would have to have probably 40 products different if you bought everything separately.
Because I probably had 40 products in my pantry.
Right.
I probably still have about 40 of those products
Yeah.
sitting in my pantry because I don't need them anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's so good. And if you message either one of us, we can give you a $10 off coupon on your first order. So
I'm happy to talk to you about it. If you have any questions or anything you want to know.
Right.
I mean, we're not medical doctors. We're not going to give you medical advice, but we can kind of guide you of what would be helpful for you based on kind of what's going on in your life. So feel free to let us know.
And these are our stories. We won't
it's our personal stories.
We don't diagnose or tell you, things that aren't true, or just by our stories. If we always know there's someone else out there that's having the same kind of problems, and maybe this can help you. So we will put our info in the comments and go from there. Also, we will probably do some more information about this on a later podcast, or if you follow us on social media, we'll maybe do a meeting, or if you're interested in other things. We have a lot of different lines of stuff. There's a kids line, and there's products for men, products for women hormone to help your hormones,
Sports products too.
sports products. Yeah. So, there's a lot we won't get into today.
Yeah.
Or we'd be here all day.
We would be.
But yeah, it's so awesome. We just wanted to share it with you because, it is life-changing for a lot of people. So
Us included.
yeah, us included for sure.
And
So,
then do you want to tell them where they can find you on social media?
yeah, I am at Inspired Signals by Tracy Koba, Instagram and Facebook both. So you can find me there. And Carissa, what's your?
I am at Light of Hope Healing. You can find me on Facebook currently, also on Google Maps. So, feel free to look me up or message me as well if you want. Otherwise, obviously message us on our YouTube. You can also find us at our SoulSpace on Facebook as well.
Yeah, that's our collective office. So, our SoulSpace. My website too. I forget about my website all the time.
You have a website.
Inspiredsignals.com is my website. So you can find all the things on either one of us.
So thank you for joining us today. We
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you again next week. Again, if you have questions, feel free to write something in the comments or message us. We're happy to answer any questions, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.